we start to how to delegate something, to delegate our responsibility to the team, and they can learn from this situation, so they can learn how to design a certain thing, and then from these decisions they can learn and they become capability become increase more, and after increase, and then we increase also the responsibility, the delegations. This is one of to empower the team. Okay, the next, instead of give the delegations of give some of our responsibility, we can also improve their capability through training and development. Through training, they can learn many things. And then the other opportunity is give the involvement of the team into the another project. It's become increase their capability because they have an experience, many experience become increase their capability. So we can empower more and more. Okay, Karin, is it answer?
Okay, thank you, Karin. Thank you, Dr. Adik. Perhaps from Dr. Dorin or Dr. Witteman, anything you would like to add on that?
Yeah, that's really a good, important question actually, because right now we cannot work by ourselves, but we have to work in a team, and it is really important to encourage the members of the team to give the best of their competencies. I would like to add some characteristic that a person must have. We call it a mosaic of knowledge, skills, capability, and the last is personality. The last but not least, because it's really important to have a great personality. So knowledge is what we know, and skills is what we can do. Capability actually is from the competencies and ability, so become capability, and personality. As I mentioned in my presentation, the great diversity of the team is become more important. Diversity in the competencies and diversity in the how do you say the characteristic of the person itself. Because when we have diversity, then we can give the mosaic of our knowledge, skills, and capability become convergence and have more power than if we are not in the diversity. I think that's my additional information.
Well, in addition to my colleagues, in what we have found in our research, that in these multidisciplinary teams, we have also come across that it's not only the diversity of the different professions, but also quite different working styles. And to give them an example, when you have the creative artists, so the one who design the stories, who design the animations, they sometimes have a different way of working as compared to an accountant, for example. You know, an accountant comes to zero in the very end. Well, if you are with the artist developing a story, everybody is shouting out loud and writing things and running around. And when you think we have an idea, let's go for a tea, they come back. You know, you come back and within 5 minutes you have another much better idea. And that is also something you have to consider in the working style of your team. And then again, another aspect we feel that if you are at work in your team, focusing on issues of being responsive, why are you developing something, is very much about accountability. You can't no longer say, well, it's our client, it's our customer, it's our audience who doesn't understand, who doesn't like our website or doesn't like the digital platform we are designing. It's the other way around. You, with your team, you are accountable to make it interesting and attractive for the audience or the users.
Yeah, thank you. you, Dr. Doreen and Dr. Wittevan. So, anyone else? Yes, sir. Could you please go to the mic, introduce yourself, and let us hear your questions.
Thank you. My name is Rizmi Juliani. I'm the student of doctoral degree from Unpad. Okay, I have two questions. The first one to the Dr. Louis Wittenson. Would you please to explain about the model in the Netherlands about how to strengthen the local media in order to bridge the digital divide and the output it should be create the strong digital communities. I mean, maybe once you have a good model and then we can implement it also in Indonesia. And then the second one to the Ibu Ade Irma about the digital culture. Would you please to explain about how we are as the academician or maybe being a part of the parents to treat the millennials generation, because if we talk about the digital culture, I think we are not only talking in the corporate sector, but it also involved into our new young generation, which means especially for the millennials, we have to create a specific treatment because they are totally different with the Y generation or baby boomers generation. Thank you.
Okay. Who would like to go first? Dr. Wittevan, maybe? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. First, if we are talking about adoption of models between countries, I think it's important to realize nowadays if we talk about digital divide, the digital divide is not so much between countries, but between groups. You find it in every country. So in every country you find digital masters of a certain level, which of course, if we look at young people, urban settings, highly educated, etc. Whereas at the other part of the continuum, we will find older people, we'll find lower educated or illiterate people, people living in remote areas, or people who are excluded by their religion, race, or whatever. So that's first of all important. I think the digital divide is very much social. There's a lot of social culture characteristics, and of course there are financial aspects. Another aspect of looking at local media is the problem of this global issue of global versus local. To a certain extent, we all live in a global world. I mean, yesterday I was watching television here in Indonesia, and there are television formats. All of us, we watch similar television models all over the world. And there are people who don't. I mean, not everybody watches them or is maybe able to understand certain languages. And I'm not talking about, let's say, a language of Dutch, English versus Bahasa, but the kind of cultural languages. So there are programs I see here on television, and without understanding Bahasa as such, I understand what is going on. But local media really have a problem that they need to have a certain business model, and business models are not always favored to local media, and then local media are really balancing between being informative and being entertaining on the one side, and on the other side not being very populist, so not going only for the interest of local cultural groups, very localized interests. So I don't think we have already a model. I think the basic model, what we, or paradigms maybe, which is similar to you are explaining as well, this model of responsible innovation, so the ones who are designing should really look at the needs of the people involved. Is this an answer to your question?
Thank you. Dr. Ade?
Okay, Rismi ya, Bapak Rismi, how we treat the millennial generations, because their behavior is different with our generations. Because they already use gadgets starting young, so we have to optimize the function of the gadgets for them. As in this morning, I learned from the televisions, I see from the televisions that there is digital learning. So this means that our teacher know already use digital to teach the students. I think we can optimize the function of the digital. So we have to monitor the content of the digital itself. I think we have to work together with our governments to make regulations and control the contents of the digital, because the influence of the technology, the content of the technology is very high to their behavior. So that's why we have to work together with the government. The government have a responsibility to arrange this. Okay, and then how about in the company, the millennials generation? It's very difficult for us to still keep them stay in our company, because their behavior, they try to change in many companies. So we have to accept this situation, but we have to try to engage them. There are so many aspects will influence how to engage them, to make them still stay in our company. Okay, Bapak Resmi.
Thank you, Dr. Ade. Anyone else? One last questions maybe? One very brief questions? No? Okay, last one please. Can we have your name?
Hi, my name is Gita Ramadan. I'm a communication science student at Telkom University. First of all, I want to ask about media design for social change. I think so close the involvement of people for media social transformation. So, but the reality, and I'm a little bit worried about my generation, because our country, or Indonesia, is one of high user internet or media social. But the bad thing is that using for bad thing like porn or something like that maybe. So what do you think about it, and how we can change it? And I think young generation using it for bad thing. And can you give us a nice word to make us using internet in the right time with the right way? Thank you.
Okay, thank you Gita for a very brief question. Who would like to go first? Maybe we start with Gita.
Yeah, of course, this is a big question. How using the internet? But I don't know if it's as I mean, if we talk about here about people using social media for 3 hours a day. First of all, as an academician, I'm not quite sure whether this is really true. I think this has been measured among a certain part of the population, and I don't know how it was, but I think, and what do they mean by using the internet? Is it playing virtual games? And the virtual games, despite many researchers, even after first-person shooting games, etc., it seems they don't have as much an impact on creating people to be more violent and aggressive. If I hear my own children, whether they are playing in the garden or playing with the exposed, the conversation is very often quite similar. I mean, they can also play around with a wooden gun and say, no, 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 I killed you already. And the same we discussed during lunchtime. I also increasingly see that when you're together with the family, it are even the young children, they say, well, let's everybody put away the mobile phones. Yeah? But we haven't researched yet, let's say, our digital resilience. At least so far, I haven't seen any research, so maybe we can invite here a student to look at these mechanisms of digital resilience. Yeah, I wouldn't, I think maybe I'm not too pessimistic, but I wouldn't be too pessimistic either. I mean, I hear things about pornography, about terrorist sites. Maybe I'm naive, and I might be, it's not my generation, but maybe I refuse also to be so pessimistic. I think we have to start really at the beginning, as you are saying as well, we really have to be careful at exposure at a very, very young age. Yeah, I think we have to do further research, but also on the other side, how do we make sure that the youth still engage in real sports? How do they still engage in direct face-to-face social talks? So I think as communication academicians, we also have to be careful that we are not, by our very research, inducing a kind of behavior we don't appreciate by only talking and writing about that type of behavior.
Actually, it starts from the family, because father and mother is an example, as a role model in the beginning, but then in the society you have your friend and you have someone in social media become your role model. I think here everybody know about Al-Qaeda. It's become depressing for parents, but not for the young generation. They love it. But please see in many perspectives, so you can see the positive and as well as the negative, and you have your own value of life, and ethically judge the social media. So you have really great basic and value of life, and we may join the community, the positive community, and become the agent of change, because as we know there is a plus and minus of the social media. We also know that there is a young generation that earn a lot of money because they have business through online, or they are YouTubers or blogger, whatever, but it's positive. Again, so you may choose which one is the one that you want to follow, and of course about the goals of the person itself for their future. Thank you.
I agree with you. It's starting from the family, and also starting if your generation, starting for ourselves, of course. So, and educations or academicians also will give the influence. We realize that technology or social media have many positive aspects. So it depends of ourselves how we use this media to give the more benefit to us. Because I saw through the television there are still young children, but they can make a business and they can get a profit 25 million, if I'm not mistaken, a month by using social media. So I think we cannot stop the internet or the social media, but we have to direct them, starting kid maybe baby, because now baby already hold the gadgets, starting very young to direct them, please choose the positive aspect of the social media or the internet of the informations, because we cannot monitor all the time of the children. It's very difficult. Or the government control by their rule or regulation. They have the regulations, but in Indonesia especially, it's very difficult to ask the government to make the regulations, because it's always there is another party will complain, because this is a human right. We cannot stop. This is the informations. Some of them need maybe pornography is become a commodity for the other institutions, but for a young generation maybe it will negative influence. So I think we have to back to ourselves. Let's we use the positive aspects starting ourselves.
Okay, thank you to all of our three speakers. The bottom line is start from the very small circle, which is your family, and the government play their roles in trying to restrict all of this bad influence. But basically what they say is that there are a lot of positives to be taken from the digital advancement, isn't it? And one of the nice things that Dr. Whitman said that she still have a lot of faith to the young generation. So it's a good thing, isn't it? So, you know, you're not really going downhill, but there are a lot of prospects there. Okay, so I guess that's all the time we have. I'm sorry, we have to stop at the third questions. Please, for the last time, give the loudest round of applause for all three speakers. Personally, I thank Dr. Whitman, Dr. Darin, Dr. Adim for your time and attendance. I give the floor back to you, the MCs. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Give a round of applause for all of the speakers and our moderators today in the second session. Okay, and would you please stay on the stage because we will have a photo session and of course receive souvenir from the committee of second icotic. So, from the committee. Oh yeah, and this souvenir will be given by Bapak Syarifuddin. So for Bapak Syarifuddin, please come forward.
And Bapak Syarifuddin as the second Dean of Faculty of Communication and Business, Telkom University.
Okay, for the first souvenir.
The first is for Mrs. Louis Vuitton from the Netherlands.
Photo station first. Thank you very much for Mrs. Louis Vuitton. Thank you. For the second is Ibu Dorin Kartikawani. Give applause for Ibu Dorin Kartikawani. Thank you.
And the third is Ibu Ade Irma Susanti.
Give applause for Ibu Ade Irma Susanti.
Photo session together with Bapak Syarifuddin, with the all speakers and moderators.
For our moderators today, Bapak Ayub from Telkom University. Yes, thank you. And now it's a time for photo session to all of the speaker and our moderator in the second session, sharing session in the second round. In the second round. Okay. Syarifudin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, by the end of the last discussion, it means our agenda for today has finished.
Thank you for your participation today in the second International Conference in Transformation in Communication.
And we would like to inform you that you may get your certificate at the registration desk.
And we also invite you to have a dinner at Aula Barat Gedung Sate. We also provide shuttle bus at 5:30. And please confirm your name to the registration desk, whether you will go together by shuttle bus with us or by yourself, maximum at 4:30.
And good luck for your presentation tomorrow. We are Shifal Fauzia
And Nanda Trimahar.
See you tomorrow and have a nice day.
To all the participants, we invite you to have a dinner at Aula Barat Gedung Sate. All participants, we invite whether you will go together by the shuttle bus or by yourself, maximum at 4:30 p.m. Thank you.